Yo, what's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. Last time again at Group B, 2 matches left here in this particular group. First matchup, like always, we have Chaos Return from 2006, by the way, versus Grandsoil Psychics from 2012. That name might not ring a bell. It's not the most, or one of the most popular decks, but back then it was kind of surprising. Jeff Jones's list, by the way, was it second place, or did he actually win the Shonen or YCS level alike tournament? It slipped my mind. But anyway, Jeff's list here with triple Grandsoil pre-errata. Deck was definitely known for being somewhat hand trap heavy with those Tragodias, Gores back then, superb card, boss monster, I guess, because it was such a surprise. Chaos Return, this is indeed the first place decklist from back then, one of the shonen jumps. Decklist, I guess, speaks for itself. Very aggressive, chaos oriented with those return from our different dimensions. And Cyber Dragon kind of power crept as soon as it was entered. It was released in, was it Cybernetic Revolutions? I think so. Anyway, it goes second, and that's a problem for this deck because of Grandsoil. Grandsoil back in the old school days, that was a very powerful card. I believe it was actually limited back then as well, because it was so hard of a counter against later synchros and so on, right? But against somewhat slower decks like Chaos here, Chaos Return, because of those flips, Dekachi, Magical Merchant, Magician of Fate, you want to get off those flip effects, right? Those are your light and darks in the graveyard. I do place, at least in this particular deck list, there are some traps, battle traps like the one of Mirror Force, I believe double Sakuretsu armor, there is Book of Moon, but that's it. So the one of Grandsoil is such a problem card. And Soul of Silver Mountain, I guess, blocks your opponent's spells and traps. It also has like a nifty reborn effect if it, I guess, destroys a monster by battle. But again, the Grandsoil was just, a bit too powerful. Sounds strange, but it, again, sets me back by a lot. My sets, they can be anything. I psychicked in stuff like Mystic Tomato. They can definitely be Spirit Reaper, and again, I didn't flip the first one, so again, that could have been a Reaper, but the Dark Hole is fine. Dekachi wasn't able to be flipped, and the Graceful Charity to search out the... Did I search out Light or Night? I believe I did search Night Assailant. Night Assailant, when discarded, get back another flip. Effect monster from the graveyard. So kind of, Graceful Charity getting those free pluses. So finally Magical Merchant is flipped, so all cards flipped from the top of my deck are sent to the graveyard, unless of course I pick up either a spell or trap, and that card will be added to my hand. So draw the battle trap, but you know how it goes with Royal Degree, and same with stuff like Jinzo. If your opponent has those, or at least has it on the field, you're always drawing into your few traps, even though you're maybe only running like 5 or 6. Now, there are, I believe, a bit more here in the deck, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I feel like I'm in control of the duel. Again, I have the battle trap set. Maybe I could have, well, I forgot the name, but the Psychic 1900 monster, that's the thing with the deck, right? Grandsoil Psychics is somewhat of a slow deck, a grindy deck. It's running a lot of recruiters like Giant Rat, like Serene Witch, I believe her name is, again, when they are like destroyed. I believe Witch also triggers when she's destroyed by, let's say, Dark Hole, Torrential, unlike, battle recruiters like Giant Rat. You're grinding through your opponent's resources and then blow them away with like a well-timed, let's say, Grandsoil, for example. Again, pre-errata. Keep that in mind. Catastrophe on the field, that's fine. I still kept that Snatch Steal for these occasions. And finally, drawing into a copy of Return from a Different Dimension. So I can, use Snatch Steal, get in some for some damage. Not sure if Gores is gone. The Tragodia could still be there, but Tragodia is fine. Tragodia also has that level modulation effect, plus the potential, change of heart, like discard at the same level. But again, I believe Heavy Storm was already used, not sure, I think so, yeah. So, you know, we can kind of make sure that return could or would survive here in this situation. So I can just flip it over and eventually attack for game. So game number 3. Go second again with this particular hand. That's not that great because again I'm battling against a deck with recruiters. Plus the fact that you know, that particular deck has access to stuff like creature swap, right? Jumper, Psychic Jumper only, you know, hits face-ups. This Heavy Storm was an iffy one, you know, Grandsoil Psychics back then. The reason why, you know, Jeff Jones also did so well back in that Shonen Jump, Shonen Jump, is that it was, what is it called? Miracle Synchro Fusion, I believe the name is. That when it's like destroyed, it's very similar to Waking the Dragon, and you know, your opponent just Mystical Space Typhooning it, and I believe it's very similar to Waking the Dragon. You can, is it like draw one card, or yeah, I think so, right? Miracle Synchro Fusion, I believe that's the name. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but long story short, random Mystical Space Typhoon against Grandsoil Psychics wasn't really a good idea. And you know, I believe we saw the Royal Degree earlier, so I was like, well, it's probably Degree. And then, you know, I mean, the Pro Storm definitely was a solid play, right? But my hand, again, being set back, being passive, and that's where the deck shines. The fact that Grandsoil Psychics has the capability to pump out Naturia Beast and or Barkion, again, so strong back in those days, right? When, you know, battle traps were important. So game number 4, go first again, okay, that's cool, get off a Merchant, sadly no Light and Dark in the graveyard, but the Torrential, that's fine. Multiple monsters, that's not the best, but again, get free information about my opponent's hand, see the double Grandsoil, and discard, I believe the creature swap, so yeah, because of the potential Spirit Reaper, right? Even not sure if Reaper is destroyed with the Psychic Commander, I believe so. You know, pay life points and then drop your opponent's monster. It's attack points, right? I don't think so, but I can be wrong. Anyway, the thing is that I side-decked in Mystic Tomato, Nudoria, and another Spirit Reaper, because again, I need those, at least I need the defense, and the deck kind of struggles with those Reapers in defense position, unless, you know, creature swap, mind control. Well, Jumper, I guess Jumper is also there to quote-unquote switch control, well, you know, inevitably destroy the Spirit Reaper. But at least the Spirit Reaper's low attack, but you know, they'll just put a pressure on your opponent, and as what happens here, kind of force out a very early Gorse. So, you know, main phase 2, I can just banish the Gorse itself and the token is not strong enough. So I'm definitely in full control of the duel. It's just going to take some time. Draw Return from a different dimension, which is definitely going to be set. Yep, that could be a game winner next turn. I guess normal summoning here the level 4, again it has the capability to banish a Psychic from the graveyard, plus if it's removed on the field for, let's say, a Synchro Summon, you can special summon your banished Psychic monster, you know, the one you just banished with your level 4. So again, full control of the duel, both Reapers in defense, the Chaos Sorcerer, back then Black Luster was banned and Void was banned, so Triple Sork was the way to go with like any Chaos heavy oriented deck, right? Again, try to put up the pressure, or you know, increase the pressure, I guess, but those recruiters, well, I mean, okay, you can kind of stall it out. I'm not sure if Grandsoil is alive or were at least are 2 already discarded. I think so. And draw Graceful. Flash the Graceful, and yeah, that's more than enough, right? Return was set, Ninth Assailant in hand. So, yep, game number 5. Problem again, I see my hand and I'm like, not the best going second against a deck that again has access to Grand Mole, even though I feel it's only a one-off. But I need to play it again somewhat passive, normal summoning Sengen. Well, passive. I believe that's the only good play. I can't, like, you know, set the Kachi or whatever. This is a bummer, Typhoon on Call, and you know, Call could have been useful on, let's say, my Sengen. But this early, and again, this is what the deck is known for. That early Naturia Beast back then, well, even now, right? So many decks rely on spells, but back then, that Floodgate-alike monster was so powerful. And if you're able to, you know, put up Naturia Beast with, let's say, a Royal Degree or Barkion, and the power of Grandsoil plus the potential hand traps like Veiler and Max see, that was, you know, like a good recipe that caught a lot of players by surprise back then, and that's, you know, why Jeff did so well back then. Or at least one of the reasons why. So yeah, I feel it was a good match, but Grandsoil Psychics sitting at 7 points. This is an iffy... No. Yeah, it should be... Yeah, indeed. It's sure that it will indeed move on to the top 16 playoffs. Maybe second place, depends on our second matchup. So again, like always, feel free to leave your predictions. Baboon Burn versus Zombie Zorn. Very similar light Zorns during, you know, Teledeath era. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Big signing out. Peace.